Hiya. Here we are again, and today we have we would like to share on something. Worship requires surrender. Many times we actually feel the need to retain the control over our lives. We want to control everything. As humans, we want to know what's next, depending on which kind of humans we are, because there are different types of personalities. There are people who are moment by moment people, so they will just make the plan as they are on the move. But there are other people that don't actually like the unknown. They like to know what's next. So I'm doing this, so what I'm going to do in the next 5 minutes, and after the next 20 minutes, the next 30 minutes, and so forth and so on. However, it's not all the time that we have the plans completely laid out. We don't. Actually, more than often, we don't know what's next. And that's why worship requires surrender. Worship requires surrender, and that example for today is taken out of the book of Daniel, chapter 1. The Hebrew boys, they were taken out of their homes, and they were of a good family. Actually, the king actually commanded that the best of the best were taken out to serve the Babylonian kingdom. So they were there, they were away from their families, away from what is familiar to them. And what's next? What to do? They had to adapt to the situation. However, many times when we have to adapt, we actually compromise. We compromise core values. And these Hebrew boys, Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they have not done that. What's very interesting about them is that they kept their values firm. They held on very tight to their faith, because the king said that they should actually eat a portion of the food that he ate. The king served them his food, but they said, no, we don't want the king's food. We don't want the king's delicacies. Just give us a portion of our food, of what we are requiring of you, and just try us if we will not be healthy. Even though the one who was in charge of keeping them was afraid, he took a leap into trusting them, and off they went into this journey. At the end of the testing period, they realized that those boys were healthier than all the others that were eating the king's food. You see, this story to me tells us how much we need to hold our faith. We need to hold our core values, especially in the times that we are living. Many people, they are being moved by what they are hearing on the news. They forgot who they are. They have forgotten their faith. They have forgotten who their God truly is. And they are caving in. They are dying inside. They are just barely surviving and going through the motions of the current days. When we look into the Hebrew boys, they were in terrible conditions because they've been taken as slaves to somebody else's kingdom with a system of values that is completely different from their own values. However, they have not lost hope. They stood their ground, and they decided to be faithful to God. And God rewarded them, because by the end of the testing period, guess what? It could not be found in the kingdom of Babylon people that were wiser than these Hebrew boys. The Chaldeans were not a match to their wisdom. So the moment that we decide to keep our values very close to our heart, to stand our ground and to stay firm, we will see that it's worth it. Let us not sell ourselves short. Let us keep our eyes on the goal. Let us keep focused on what we are trying to achieve. Let us not bend low, but let us stand up, stand tall for what we believe, because this is the time that we need to stand on Christ, the solid rock. Bye-bye.